Hey, what's up everybody? This is Dom, and today we are checking out the Seidio OBEX. This is a waterproof case for the iPhone 5, and it actually adds some shock resistance and dirt-proof, dust-proof, all that kind of stuff. And we're going to get into it and give it a demo, and I'm going to show you what it's all about. So, as you can see here, this is the front of the box, and you can see the phone and the case right there on the front. If we open up this little flap right here, you can see the case right through this clear window, and then on the other side, we just have a brief overview of the case itself. You can see we have a built-in screen protector, and we have accessibility to all the ports, waterproof, impact-proof, dust-proof, and snowproof, so that's what you get with this guy. On the back side here, we just get an in-depth look at the construction of this case, and also at the bottom here, we have the box contents, so you can read over all this if you'd like to. On the side here, you see that we have IP68 tested for this waterproof case, so let's go ahead and open up the box and see what's involved. We'll pull this tab out, and then we can open up these flaps and slide out the tray inside containing the Seidio OBEX. So once we have that out of there, we can pull the case out of this cardboard piece, and the first thing we see here is a little manual. Now, it's going to be important for you to read this manual. It's going to give you an overview of how to use the case and how to properly install it to make sure it's waterproof. So here is the Seidio OBEX case, and as you can see, it's got a very slim profile. Here it is in comparison to the iPhone 5, a side-by-side for you so you can see how thick it is. Really, it doesn't add a whole lot of bulk for the protection that you're getting with this case. On the back side, we have an opening for the Apple logo, and then our camera holes right here. On the side, we have covered up buttons, and on the bottom, we have a little latch that you can pull open to reveal the lightning connector port as soon as you move this rubber flap out of the way. So it's kind of a two-step process. If that bothers you, this case might not be for you, but it does keep it protected and waterproof. So that little rubber flap is definitely necessary in this case for keeping your device safe. But as you can see here, if you need your headphone port, you can just pull up this rubber flap without unlatching the case and pulling out everything there. So that is pretty nice, easy access. And then on the other side here, we have a hole for the speaker, as well as a little hole cut out on the bottom of the latch for the microphone. So let's go ahead and pull this case apart, and then we'll be able to check out what's involved, and then we'll go ahead and do a full-on waterproof test with the iPhone 5 inside. So make sure that you read this little warning label right here, this little warning insert. It's going to be crucial that you follow all the steps and give it a waterproof test to make sure that everything's working properly before you go and drown your iPhone 5. On the back side here, you see that we have some padding for the back of your iPhone, so it's not going to be sitting on that hard plastic. It's going to absorb a lot of the shock with drops and, falls and stuff like that. Let's go ahead and pull out this insert so we can get everything ready for the waterproof test. And like other waterproof cases, you see that we have a built-in screen protector, so it'll keep your device safe. On the front here, we have a home button, which then uses this little rubber nub to press in your home button on the iPhone 5. At the top here, we have a cutout for the camera, light sensor, and speaker, and then around the side, we have an O-ring that will keep this case waterproof. So that little ring right there is very, very important in keeping the device dry when it's inside of this case. So let's start by putting this case back together, and I'm going to go ahead and do a waterproof test off camera for you guys to make sure this is safe for the full-on demo that we're going to do here later in the video. The best thing I found is to take a piece of paper and stick it inside of the case and then close up the case completely, because then when you do the waterproof test, if the paper stays dry, then the case is in fact waterproof. Alright, so the waterproof test was successful. Now we can put the iPhone 5 inside of this case and get ready for the full-on waterproof demo. Now just slowly slide it into the case. Make sure you remove the rubber stoppers here, as they might get in the way, and make sure it's flush with the OBEX case on the backside there so you don't see anything popping out. Stick back in the rubber stoppers. There is a set for the bottom of the phone for the headphone jack and lightning port, and then there's also one for the mute switch on the side of the case. When you're closing this, make sure that you press all of the edges together. You don't want any gaps in this, any abnormal gaps. You might want to pull it back apart and reevaluate everything, make sure that it's flush. See how that has a gap right there? You want to push it all together. If you don't get it together, the case will not be fully waterproof, and you might run into some problems when you throw it in a sink or something. So now that we have the iPhone 5 all packaged up inside of the Seidio OBEX, we are ready for the waterproof demo. This is the moment of truth, everybody. Will the OBEX keep my iPhone 5 safe? And as you can see, we are in the bathroom filling up what is hopefully not a watery grave for my iPhone 5, but we are going to put that to the test here, and here is the OBEX. So now that we have the sink filled up, you can see that everything works perfect on the phone. There's no problems at all. We're going to put on a video actually before we go ahead and throw it in the sink. And yes, we are just going to toss it in here, so get ready for that. And here is a little video review that I did back a little while ago, so let's go ahead and toss it in. So there you go, it's under the water now, and as you can see here, the video is still playing. There is absolutely no problems with this case. Everything is working perfect. There are some issues using the screen at first when your fingers are wet because it's a capacitive screen and the phone just sees all of the water as like one big thumb. But everything's fully functional, and now that I've dried off my hands a little bit, you can see that it works perfect. So this is the Seidio OBEX, and in case you're curious, the Seidio OBEX does muffle the audio quality a little bit on the output side of things. I had no problem making or receiving calls, but as far as playing music, it was a tad muffled, but the case actually amplified the sound a bit, so that was a good thing. Honestly, I've yet to find a waterproof case that doesn't muffle the sound a bit, so that's kind of expected in these types of situations. But if you're interested in picking up one of these guys, you can get it for around $75. I found a few different links online, and I'll be sure to drop them below in the description for you. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please leave me a big old thumbs up, as it does help out my channel a lot. And be sure to let me know what you guys think about the Seidio OBEX down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please subscribe to see more content like this. Thanks again for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. This is Dom, and have a great day.